Hey guys, so before the video begins, I feel like I need to set something up. When I started working on this, we were 2 months into the lockdown and I felt like I had something to say. But then when I was putting the final touches on it, that's when George Floyd got murdered and the nation absolutely blew up. And because of the timing of it, I got concerned that people might think that I'm responding to both. And that is not the case. This video addresses only the virus and the nation's response to it. And because it does end with a hopeful message, I still want to release it, but I feel it's necessary, if not at least responsible, to make this clarification. So, with that said, enjoy. Welcome to paradise, a romantic getaway to spend your days in eternal beauty. Hello, and welcome to You's Go Get 'Em Getaways, where the world is your oyster and you are the pearl. This is the island of Barbados. Discover the island on the Bahan bus before taking an afternoon stroll through the... What you watching?
Death of a Fat Man. It's a documentary of sorts.
Well, can you start over so I can see?
Since when do you like to laugh at other people's misfortune?
No. It's not to laugh at. It's to compare. It's like watching Hoarders or Intervention.
Okay, but just so you know, these ads, they keep popping up and you cannot skip them. You just have to suffer through.
Jolly Roger. And if you want an adult beverage, be sure to mix it with rum. It was born here. Explore Barbados, here at You's Go Get 'Em Getaways. So, something has been bothering me. There's a line that I keep hearing repeated over and over to justify certain actions or decisions. People are dying. I didn't have a problem with it at first, naturally, because at first, we had absolutely no idea what we were up against. And it was very possible that millions upon millions of people were gonna die. But then as time continued and that possible number went down, drastically down, the argument still persists, and we are being told that every single human life is worth saving, no matter what the cost, because people are dying. And I can really only think of 3 reasons why this line continues, and it's the third that I really want to talk about, but in order to get there, we have to address the first 2. So, that being said, reason number 1 why anyone would scream people are dying is because people are. And they have a genuine concern for the safety and the sanctity of every human life. I'm sorry. I hate to be blunt, but let's get technical here. When does he actually die?
He already has.
At the time of this recording, over 100,000 people have died from this thing. It's not a nice number, not at all. But neither is the 55,000 that die every single year from the regular flu. But despite decades upon decades of progress and effort, we still to this day continue to lose 55,000 people every single year. And we're kind of okay with that. 10,000 people die every single year from drunk driving accidents. And we don't scream at every single person that comes out of the bar to get behind the wheel of their car. And that's because we have both acknowledged and accepted that when it comes to risk, there is a spectrum. And not everyone who leaves a bar has consumed their weight in liquid gold. Sometimes it's just a college dropout who just had 1 Smirnoff Ice.
That's oddly specific. It was the saddest 21st birthday you've ever seen.
Over 80,000 people die every single year from diabetes, 90% of that from type 2. And the behaviors that bring about and sustain type 2 diabetes are, do I have to say it? Let's just say it's universally agreed on. And yet somehow in this country, there is a movement that looks not only to remove the social stigma of these behaviors, it creates an agenda that promotes them, making the argument that all bodies are beautiful, that all decisions you make about them are personal, and the quality of your life is vastly more important than the actual health of it. It is at this moment that I would also like to state my opinion that when it comes to the spreading of a physical virus and the spreading of viral information, they are one and the same. There is no difference if they both result in people are going to die. This country continues to lose hundreds of thousands of American lives every single year to things we can fix. And we don't. We've chosen not to. So I'm sorry, but genuine concern, I don't buy it. If you truly want paradise, congratulations, you've arrived. Hello and welcome to Use Go Get 'em Getaways. This is Florida. These people know they gotta be inside. A land of opportunity and...
I told you.
Well, there's no harm in trying.
I already did.
Well, maybe there was something you didn't see. Whether you're hunkering down at the Rodman campground or living it up at Ybor City, Florida is the place to be. And if you have an adult drink, be sure to mix it with orange juice. It's their state beverage. Reason number 2 is a little more obvious, and that would be control. Anyone who wants control or wants to keep control will say whatever it takes. They will use the most hyperbolic, dramatic statement possible in order to get what they want because they think they know what's best for everyone else. Strong emphasis on the word think. And while this is most disgusting in every single politician out there right now, some way worse than others, it also spews forth out of every single blue-checked Twitter account, every Facebook Karen from sea to shining sea, and anyone who happens to know the words to the song Imagine. But those are other people, and I don't want to dive in too deep with those other people. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about reason number 3, the one that I believe is the real reason, the one that strikes more chords than a full orchestra. If you're looking for a calm and tranquil respite, look no further than these heavenly highways. Hello, and welcome to Michigan. Michigan has...
If you are allowed to skip ads, there will be a button that says skip ads.
And if you're not allowed to, there will be something that says you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to.
Don't drink the water.
Let's try that again. Fear. It's classic projection, psychology 101. What you see and feel most in other people is what you actually see and feel about yourself. It's not so much that you're scared about other people dying, it's that you're scared to die. Or you're scared someone very close to you is going to die. And that's normal. That is a 100% human thing to do if the goal is to exist. But if you want to live as a human, then you participate in a higher function. It's all or nothing, which is why I say, until you accept death, you will never accept life. Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, one night, I was at a bar, drunk. Hold your applause. When I left, I stumbled my way back home, and 2 blocks later, I was attacked. A guy came up from behind me, wrapped his left arm around my neck, started to choke me, and pressed up against my back with his right hand, a gun, a knife. I have absolutely no idea because frankly, it doesn't matter. I instantly sobered up, it's a thing that happens, and I went into fight or flight mode. I fought. Punches, some elbows, some kicks before I got a good one right behind me. We tumbled onto the pavement. We're rolling around, hitting and kicking before he gives up and runs off into the night. And it was only then that I began to scream. If my ultimate goal was to just survive to the next day, then I would have given him my wallet. I would have frozen. I mean, I'll happily share the things I work for, but you cannot take them. So I fought. I fought for life, the capital L life. And in doing so, I risked my own death. Use Go Get 'em Getaways offer more than just faraway Neverlands. Sometimes the best vacation is the one right next door. I realized then and there that I had experienced a pivotal moment, something that was going to determine how I would continue on my path, whatever. Which is why I made it a point that the very next night, I went back to the same bar. I was there until 4 in the morning. I drank, and then when I left, I took the same pathway back home because I will be damned if I live in fear.
He seems awfully angry. Wait for it.
In any case, we could all agree on one thing. You cannot spend your days dwelling on things in the past or possibilities that might happen in the future. That is no way to live. If that were true, then I'd be eating soup for the rest of my life because of the time that I almost choked to death on steak when I was 10 years old. But that's not what I do because I do not spend my days consumed by emotion. It's much better than where you are right now.
Henry? Come on, Henry.
The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have.
Come on, Henry, open the door.
I'm walking the streets of Tulsa, Oklahoma. We have it in our power to begin the world over again.
Please, I know what I'm doing.
No, you don't. The best preparation for tomorrow is by doing your best today. I just want to help. One today is worth 2 tomorrows. Okay, it's a little dark here. The best way out is through. The only journey is the one within.
I can work the thing. You'll get the remote back when this is over.
Believe that you can, and you're halfway there. I think it's Botswana. Change your beliefs and you change your world.
When all of this is over.
And rather think you can, strive not to be a success, but rather to be a person who never made a mistake and who's never tried to change the decision to intentionally risk yourself out to none of it is as smart as don't judge every game has beauty in the direction of the way, but not everyone just the same plan. Always reaching the I just want to help. I want to make things better by sharing the things I've learned to be true about myself. And what I've learned, what I continue to learn, to be honest, I learned it in the making of this video. This was not the ending I originally wrote. It's certainly peaceful. Yeah. Yeah, okay.